धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from unreal to real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Friends, I am very happy to be here to speak about spiritual wisdom. God has provided everything for us. Only we should be able to recognize the glory of God manifesting in infinite ways in the world. So in order to cross over from unreal to real, we have to light the lamp of knowledge to destroy the darkness of ignorance. As long as we are not awakened to the glory of knowledge, we will be always in darkness. As long as we are in darkness, we are in ignorance. So, we have to struggle, strive very hard to get ourselves awakened. That is, Swami used to say most emphatically, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." What a fantastic statement it is. And this famous statement is quoted from most famous Upanishads, Kathopanishad. So, it's not simply Uttishtata, Jagrata. So, you have to become awakened. And world is a forum which gives you an opportunity to wake up. To wake up from ignorance. We are sleeping in darkness of ignorance. We have to wake up by getting ourselves acquainted with knowledge. So that spiritual knowledge is to be given to every one of us. It's our topmost priority. Since we are not giving any attention to the spiritual values, our life has become miserable and miserable. And there's no end for misery. It goes on increasing, increasing. Up to what level? The infinite level. Why infinite? Because everything in God's creation is infinite. Why? God Himself is infinite. That's the mystery. Anything that you take up goes to infinity. Knowledge, infinity. Joy, infinity. So that's why when a person realizes the divine, he becomes totally ecstatic. He cannot contain himself. That's why it's called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So in that state, he is totally merged in the divine bliss of the God. That's the way. So we are born in this world by the most special grace of God. But we forget it. Don't think we are born in this world to enjoy the world and get away from it. Not like that. God's grace has started from the way how we are born in this world. But we should know that fact. We should know that God is always behind us. He always wants us to come to Him. He is in the position of the mother. And mother is always focused on the children. God's creation is mother's children, God's children. Jagat Mata Pita Data, Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. I am the father and mother of the universe. What more declaration you want? Vasudeva Sarvamiti. The whole thing is Vasudeva himself. How much he has revealed himself in Bhagavad Gita. In very clear terms. That he is none other than Supreme God himself. Still we are so stupid. We don't understand the glory of God. We don't believe in God. We are too much egoistic. So we lose our way. So we are born in this world to rise up. But if we don't live the life properly, instead of rising up, we are falling down. Falling down. Falling down means entering into well of misery. Misery and suffering and suffering and suffering. How much crime, violence is going on nowadays? All over the world is boiling with violence, boiling. Innocent people are killed. Crime rate very high. No police force can control. Police themselves are corrupt. Judges themselves are corrupt. Wherever you put your hand, corruption. That means the whole world is infected with cancer of suffering. So, we have to wake up ourselves. Each individual should strive for it. So, we should give correction to our view of life. How should we view this world? This world is God's own creation, means you must see the world as most sacred world. And this life is most sacred. Never, never condemn yourself. So, the world projects itself as your mirror. World is your mirror. The good you find in others is in you also. The faults you find in others are your faults as well. These are the words of spiritual wisdom. After all, to recognize something, you must know. The possibilities you see in others are possible for you as well. The beauty you see around you is your beauty. The world around you is a reflection. A mirror showing you the person you are. To change your world, you must change yourself. To blame and complain will only make matters worse. Whatever you care about is your responsibility. What you see in others shows you yourself. See the best in others, and you will be your best. Give to others and you give to yourself. Appreciate beauty and you will be beautiful. Admire creativity and you will be creative. Love and you will be loved. Seek to understand and you will be understood. Listen and your voice will be heard. Teach and you will learn. So if you have this kind of attitude towards the world, every day of your life becomes blessed. Start your life with prayer to God. O Lord, I am your child. In whatever manner you guide me, I will follow you. If you have this much of faith in you, certainly you will rise up. The dawn of awakening happens. So, we should all aspire for knowledge. Knowledge is light. That light is required. That's how we should look upon this world. Another important point, we should learn what the spiritual teachers have taught us through their experience. There was a farmer. He had a donkey. One day, it fell down into a well. The animal was helpless. It was crying very piteously for hours. Is there anybody to save? And the farmer could not think about how to rescue that animal. Anyway, that well had no water, otherwise the animal would have died there. Finally, the farmer thought, oh, that donkey, now it has served a lot. Now it has become very old. So he began to think in this way. Instead of saving the animal, he was thinking, the donkey is old, and what's the use? So, let it be buried in the well itself. So he began to think in a very disheartened way. So, he wanted to fill up that well so that there is no question of anymore thinking about the donkey. So he invited all his friends and neighbors to help him, and they all came. They all grabbed a shovel and began to shovel dirt into the well, filling up the well with the dirt. At first the donkey could not understand what is happening. And it began to cry more horribly. Well, what is going on? It has no voice except to cry. Then, to everyone's amazement, that donkey quieted down. A few shovel loads later, the farmer finally looked upon into the well, and he was astonished at what he saw. With every shovel of dirt that hits the donkey's back, the donkey was doing something amazing. He would shake it off and take a step up. As the farmer's neighbors continued to shower dirt on top of the animal, he would shake it off every time and coming up. Pretty soon, everyone was amazed to see donkey stepped up over the edge of the well and trotted off. In a way, the donkey was saved. Life is going to shower dirt on us. The trick to getting out of the well is to shake it off and take a step upwards. That is how we should look upon suffering coming to us in our life. Suffering comes to us to teach us a lesson. It wants to give us an education. It wants us to wake up to the reality, to rise up, to correct ourselves, correct our behavior. Suffering comes to teach us that. And suffering is caused on account of various factors. Anyway, the point is not running away from the suffering, but going briskly through the suffering. So if you are brave enough, courage enough to go through the suffering, at the end you find tremendous peace and bliss. So suffering goes away immediately. So all these things happen only when you are open-minded. Not whole day criticizing others, interfering in others' lives. Stop doing all such things. If you are really sincere about spiritual life, be sincere about every thought that comes to your mind and every action that you do. Everything should be noble and useful to the society. At least if you think in those terms, you'll be able to transform yourself slowly and gradually. And you feel tremendous peace and joy if you take a spiritual path in this manner. Spiritual life is meant for giving you peace of mind. People think, oh, spiritual life is not to be taken now. Let us wait for some time. Let my hair become grey. Then I will become monoprasthi. Then whole life I will dedicate to spiritual life. What kind of theory they are talking about? That means they are doing nothing. That is the result. If you are not able to do now, you will not be able to later on. That's the story. That's the real fact. So, no question of postponement. Today you realize the point. From today onwards you must be very serious about spiritual path, spiritual life and spiritual journey. If you are awakening yourself to that fact, you are saved. Certainly you are saved. And you will be taken up upwards. You are raising up yourself. You are not drowning. So drowning in this world means you are going away from spiritual path. And this world is such that it always keeps on sucking you more and more inward. And you will realize, oh, what has happened? I cannot raise up myself at all. At the hour of death, Your mind is full of tensions, all sorts of things. And that's your life. Again, to be born, in what manner you are born, God only knows. So, when the opportunity is given, never lose that opportunity. That's the wisdom. So you must be aware of the wisdom. Don't say I didn't know. Not knowing if you touch the electric wire, does the electric wire stop being shocked to you? You will be shocked by touching the electric wire. It doesn't say, oh, he didn't know, poor guy, so let me not shock. It won't say like that. Knowingly or unknowingly, there are the effect of it. That's a cosmic law. So your theory, I didn't know, will not work there. It's bogus. It only shows you must know it. That's the point. Must and should. Not after my hair grows grey, I will learn. No. Right now, from this moment, have that zeal. That zeal is in every one of us. Just as Swami used to say, each soul is potentially divine. You are the divine. You are the Brahman himself. But because of a cloud of ignorance, you are not realizing that reality. So, mind is the cause. It is a root cause root cause for bondage as well as liberation. Maneva karanam bandha moksha yoga. Famous Upanishad, Amritapindi Upanishad tells that. Mind itself is responsible for bondage as well as liberation. Run towards the temporary pleasures of the world, you are in bondage. But if the mind turns towards God, it is paving the way for liberation. So mind plays most important role in everyone's life. How you keep your mind, that determines your life. If the mind is hopeless, you are hopeless. No need to say that. So, but that mind is your subservient. You are the master of the mind. But for whatever reason, you have lost that control over the mind. Mind is overruling you. So mind has assumed the role of mastership. You are like a fool going with the dictates of the mind. What nonsense you are doing. You have no control over your own mind. That's why you are suffering. You don't need a big preacher to come declare that to you. Life teaches you. So, what is happening is, we are neglecting to cultivate good nature. Everyone, every being on this earth has two minds. One is spiritual mind, another is worldly mind. But what has happened is, because of our running rush towards the material things, our worldly mind has become hyperactive. To that extent, spiritual mind is dull, almost inert, almost non-existent. Is there anything called spiritual mind? You will doubt yourself. So, that's the cause of our embodied state. But God is gracious. He will provide many occasions for you to bestow His grace, to give you awakening. Every opportunity you get, you miss it. And again you downfall. Every opportunity you miss means you're falling down, 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 down. Trampling upon yourself. So, be aware of your glorious nature of the spiritual mind. Assert your mastership. Mind says, I want to go to bar. You must immediately say, no, I don't go. You must use that power. In the beginning it may be difficult, but still, if you persist, you will succeed. They say, suppose you go to a mall, you see lots of things displayed there, nicely. You are tempted to steal. The temptation to steal is because of the bad samskaras in the mind. But you must be wise enough, no, I don't steal. That you must assert. Assert very strongly. Then you will overcome it. Otherwise, you yield to that. You steal and you will be arrested. That's how it is. So, world is meant for you not to get yourself entangled in it, but to get out of it. The world is a stage. Heaven is not the stage. People think by going to heaven they are free. No. You are not free. Heaven is the stage so that you will come back again on this earth. Will you come back on the earth as a snake, as a jackal, as a tiger, as a lion? It depends upon what type of life you had led before. People think I am a human being now. Next life also will be human. Who told you that? Next life you may not be a human being at all. You may be worse than a human being. Because you committed a lot of crimes, violence, hatred, cunningness. You will be born as a snake, fox, etc. So, cosmic law is very, very vigorous. It doesn't spare anybody. Cause and effect. You are bound by it, no matter who are you are. Cause and effect. So there is a famous episode in Ramayana to give the example of cause and effect. Dashrath, when he was young, he was very adventurous. He learned archery nicely. And there is a particular skill called Shabdavedi. By hearing the sound, he could target. And he could hit correctly. That knowledge he had acquired. And he was quite young and energetic, full of zeal. And so, he went out for hunting. And that was raining. In spite of raining, he was urged to go for hunting. He did not stop him. He went out, searching for the sound of the animal so that he can shoot. Poor animal has to die. And he could not find for a long time. What is happening? No animals. Finally, he heard some noise, some sound. The animals, when they come and drink water, they make that sound. He thought probably some elephant is drinking the water. There was a river side. So he wanted to use his skill. He shot the arrow. It struck the target. The target was not animal. It was Rishi Putra. Who is that fellow who killed me? He began to cry. When he heard that human voice, he rushed and found out that he was the son of a blind Rishi. The blind parents were staying a little away. They wanted to drink water. So they asked this poor boy, and poor boy went to fetch water. and he has to meet with death. And this boy warned the king, please go immediately and tell what has happened, otherwise you will be doomed. He immediately rushed. When the parents heard the footsteps, sound of the footsteps, oh my dear son, why do you take so much time to come here? We are thirsty. And he was shivering. I am not this, I am not his son. This is what happened. The mother became so disheartened. She collapsed immediately. She could not bear that shock. Hearing that the father, he also became very upset. What have you done? Who will take care of us? My poor son was killed for no reason. Then he tells him, you will also meet with the same. You will know what kind of suffering it is. Separation of the son. That pronouncement Dasharatha experienced when Ram was exiled. When he was asked to go to forest 14 years. And Dasharatha loved Rama so much, he could not bear that separation. Ram, Ram, Ram. 24 hours he was thinking of Ram. He could not eat anything. He lost appetite, everything. He was almost on the deathbed. Kausalya was sitting there. Just at the point before death, he remembered this incident. Till then, he had forgotten. At the last moment, he remembered that what he had done in his younger days, shooting that son of the Rishi, that he revealed to Kausalya. Kausalya, this is what he did, so I am reaping the result of that. As you sow, so you reap. Cause and effect. None can escape. Good, good, bad, bad. Sannyasi bold, say Om Tat Sat Om. Swami says the Sangha of Sannyasi. Fantastic. Fine. Fantastic. How true it is. So we are, each individual is responsible. Whatever that happens to you, you are the creator of that. That's why Swamiji says in one of the lectures, you are the maker of your own destiny. You are the maker of your own destiny. Don't say, oh, why God did this. As if God is only looking after you. The whole universe belongs to God. Who are you? So, that's the way. You are born in this world to rise up, not to drown yourself. To swim across the ocean of worldliness, not to drown yourself. Samsara sagaram ghoram tattu vichati yojana Gita namam samaruhya paramyati sukhena saha. One who wants to cross this ocean of world, samsara sagar, ocean of world, family, etc. If you sit in the boat of Gita, you will cross over immediately. Gita itself tells that message. By the very word Gita means Tagi. I don't know how to translate this word Tyaga. It's the most sublime word. Tyag. Give up everything. Then only you will be able to surrender yourself totally to Lord. Not holding one hand and, oh God, protect me. No, God will not come. You must raise both your hands. Then God will come. So raising both your hands, you must have courage. You must be fearless. You must not be afraid of death. You must not be afraid of anything. Then that the idea of Sharanagati will come. Total surrender to God. Mameka Sharanam Vraja. Krishna says, surrender to me. Much more direct sentence you want. It tells pointedly, surrender to me. So that's the way. So if you look from that point of view, world is mirror. It reflects. So if you are to correct yourself, correct it without grumbling. Grumbling is not the way. Correcting oneself is the positive way. Correction. Every day is meant for improving, uplifting yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam atmanam sahayet. Atmeva chatmava bandhu atmeva viparatmana. You have to rise yourself. He conquers self who conquers his own little self, mind. So, that's the way it should be. Be strong enough to face the world each day. Be weak enough to know that you cannot do everything. Be generous to those who need your help. Be frugal with what you need yourself. Be wise enough to know that you do not know everything. Be foolish enough to believe in miracles. Be willing to share your joys. Be willing to share the sorrows of others. Be a leader when you see a path others have missed. Be a follower when you are shrouded in the midst of uncertainty. Be the first to congratulate an opponent who succeeds. Be the last to criticize a colleague who falls. Be sure where your next step will fall so that you will not stumble. Be sure of your final destination in case you are going the wrong way. Be loving to those who love you. Be loving to those who do not love you, and they may change. So everything should be subjective. That's the idea. Subjective. So if you look upon this way, then you will see tremendous transformation in the life. And struggling. This is also very important to note. The spiritual wisdom, how it teaches. Struggling is necessary. Without struggling, you cannot improve. The other word for struggling is prayatna, effort. You have to make your effort. Simply sitting, everything will happen. Nothing will happen. Be sure of that. Nothing will happen. If you say, oh, somebody will give you, be sure nobody gives you. Who is that somebody? Who is that somebody? One person came there to ashram in Chicago. I was explaining, see, we have got very big loan, $2 million we have taken loan from the bank. And all of you should come to help us. And this ashram is meant for you. And all the activities are being done to give a kind of adhyatma vidya. Secular education you get everywhere, nook and corner. But spiritual education, who will give you? Who dares to give you? Who is fit to give you? Who is qualified to give you? All fake people you find everywhere. Fake. But this is the place, the abode of Sri Ramakrishna, meant for educating, meant for giving spiritual knowledge. Should you not help? You know we are monks. So, we are not earning money. But whatever we have, we give for society, not for ourselves. But from your side, should you not do something to help us? And that person, how cleverly he talked, it's amazing to me. He said, "Oh Swamiji," he used his finger like this. God will give. Just like this. It will come. As if she's blessing. She's a lady. It will come. How it will come? I didn't say how it will come, but she said. And you must know that lady was not a poor lady. I had been to her home. It was like a palace, full of most fantastic furniture, all imported from India. All furniture from rosewood, not teakwood. Do you know rosewood is more costly than teakwood? How many people are living? Only two. Husband and wife. Palatial building. Rosewood furnitures. Dhoom dham. And that lady is telling me, God will give. Somebody will give. After that lady didn't pay even $1. She said that and left. But I began to think myself, look at this worldly wise people. How they. So they assume the leadership of spirituality. Immediately they give lecture. Immediately, in a second. Oh God, that will happen. Everything will happen. Oh. It's true. God is helping us. God helps us. So God will be raised up, undoubtedly. But the way they tell is that she is not giving, you have to escape that guilt, giving a philosophical explanation for not giving the contribution. And that is the worldly way of life, what to do. Because you are all spiritual people, I know that.
Does he still
But the point is, don't hesitate to give to Sri Ramakrishna. Don't hesitate.
So why did you go to his home? Just for prayer or what?
What? I couldn't hear.
I'm asking is why did you go to her home?
No, not during this time. I am referring to that lady to whose home I had gone previously.
Yeah, so why
Not for raising contribution.
No. Why did you go? It's just for
She
blessings?
invited me as a devotee. She's a devotee.
Yeah, good devotee.
But she, some please visit my visit. Just as you invite, today Cycle is inviting me, I'm going to Cycle's home. Just like that.
Alright.
is he still a good devotee?
Hey, everyone is a devotee who calls God's name. But to what extent you call, what is the intensity, that is each one's life. When it comes to touching the purse, their heart throbs. So it's not easy to give up. Actually, why I am telling all this is Tyaga. Tyaga. Samsara sagaram ghoram tattu bichchati yodana. Gita navam samarapya param vyasakyansa. To cross over this world of suffering, you have to become Tyagi. Sri Ramakrishna himself tells in the gospel. Repeat Gita 10 times, non-stop. Gita. Gita means Tyagi. Tyag. I don't know how to translate it into English. It's utterly meaningless. Insipid translation. Sacrifice. What kind of sacrifice? Sacrifice is not the correct word. But anyway, there is no other translation. Tyag means giving up devotedly.
Renunciation.
Devotedly. So, giving up. Giving up. So, not to develop that idea of giving up, we have to have spiritual ideas to work upon. You must come in the company of holy people. must try to practice spirituality in your own way in the home, and you must be sincere and honest. That's all. So effort is important. That's the meaning of all this introduction. Struggle. Nothing comes without struggle. Your life is full of struggle only. Because you know better than myself. All of you are passing through the center of struggling. So there's a very famous example given. The importance of struggle. Without struggle, you get nothing. That's the result. Once a man found a cocoon of an emperor moth. The moth becomes a butterfly. He took it home, that cocoon, so that he could watch the moth come out of the cocoon. So on that day, he found a small opening appeared in the cocoon. This man sat there, watched the moth for several hours. What he found? He found that moth was struggling to force the body through that little hole. Then it seemed to stop making any progress. It appeared as if it had gotten as far as it could and it could go no farther. It just seemed to be stuck there. Then the man, he thought in his kindness, decided to help the moth. So he took a pair of scissors and snipped off the remaining bit of the cocoon. His idea is to help the moth coming out. What happened? The moth then emerged easily, no doubt, but it has swollen body and small, shriveled wings. The man continued to watch the moth because he expected that at any moment the wings would enlarge and expand to be able to support the body, which would contract in time. Neither happened. In fact, the little moth spent the rest of its life crawling around with a swollen body and shriveled wings. It never was able to fly because he cut the cocoon, It could not grow in a natural way. So what the man in his kindness and haste did not understand was that the restricting cocoon and the struggle required for the moth to get through the tiny opening was a way of forcing fluid from the body of the moth into its wings so that it would be ready to fly once it achieved its freedom from the cocoon. So freedom and flight would only come after the struggle. By depriving the moth of a struggle, it deprived the moth of health. So sometimes struggles are exactly what we need in our life. If we were to go through our life without any obstacles, we would be crippled. We would not be as strong as what we could have been. So, give every opportunity a chance. Struggle. Be joyful to struggle. That's the way it should be. Show your heroism there. Not in showing heroism in killing innocent people. Bombing innocent people. What nonsense is going on in the world? Millions of people are being killed for no reason. So, Manav Rupi Rakshas, demons in human form, nowadays in Kali Yuga. In Treta Yuga there were real demons. Demons in demonic form. But now, in disguised way, demons in human form, more dangerous than the real demons. Suddenly, bomb comes, everybody is destroyed. No reason. So how political corruption has made all these things happening. So, what I mean to say is, struggle. Spiritually it's difficult, Swamiji. Still you have to struggle. One person came the other day to our temple, bringing fruits, everything. And I was astonished. Oh nice, the boy has come, he has finished, brought fruits. So how is it? How are you? Ready to come? So only today I came and I have brought these fruits to Sri Ramakrishna. Wonderful, I told. So only today is my initiation day. Lovely. So initiation day is like Sri Ramakrishna. Then in a natural way I asked, well, are you doing japa meditation properly? Yes, Swamiji, I am doing. How many times you do? Only morning and only morning? The Guru has told you to do twice, morning and evening. And evening somehow. Why somehow? Can you not do 108 times of Sri Ramakrishna repetition before going to bed? Before going to bed? This is so difficult to repeat 108 times. When you talk, how much minutes you go? Run away. When it comes to God, you calculate. You are deceiving yourself. How can you deceive God? What kind of struggle it is? By just repeating 108 times, should you think God should come and dance before you? What foolish ideas we are having. And every day we are using God's name a million times, without any meaning. For every nonsense you do, you call God. Oh God. What God can do? If you don't do properly, God will not accept it. Ashraddhya Hutan Daktam. Ashraddha. It comes under the category. Without Shraddha you are giving. It is rejected by God. Do it with Shraddha. It is accepted. So spiritual life should start with the foundation of Shraddha. Tremendous faith and attitude of surrendering to God, mixed with devotion. Then you approach God. God will accept it. So, you have to struggle. You have to struggle. You have to make effort. And that effort is possible only in human life. Only in human life. Only on this earth planet. That's also specified. Nowhere else. According to scriptures, there are 14 lokas. 7 lokas upwards. 7 lokas downwards. Atala, Vitala, Rastala, Patala, Patala. Last one is Patala. Upward lokas are meant for heavens, for people who have done miracles, who have donated $20 million. We will give them miracles in the heaven. And who has killed about 1 million people is going to Patala. Center is the Bhuloka, Earth planet. After enjoyment, that fellow drops into this world. After suffering in the Patala, he comes up to this world. So everyone has to come to this earth planet. Unless you realize yourself, your true reality, unless you realize your Atman, There is no end for your suffering. So, you are here not to waste your time in dirty worldly things. Be sure of that. Be sure of that. Only through your sincere struggle you can come out of this mire of worldliness. You have to come out of it. And Sri Ramakrishna has shown his way how to come out of it. It's not difficult at all. Advice to householders, 2 chapters are there in the Gospel. Please read them. Read them and follow them. Follow them. Step by step. Then you feel being family life is as good as monk's life. Provided you are going towards God. Family life is a concession for you. It is fighting inside the fort. Monk's life is fighting outside the fort. Open field. But fighting must be done. Either inside or outside. Fighting out your samskaras. Swami Sri Ramakrishna used to say, 6 alligators are there in your mind. 6 alligators, not one. One is enough to kill you. 6? Your mind is surrounded by 6 alligators. Bouncing upon you any moment. If you turn this way, 1 alligator is there. If you turn right side, left side, another. Front, back, another. No way to escape at all. You are circled by alligators. Who are those? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Desire, greed, anger, delusion, egoism, jealousy. These 6 rascals are occupying your mind and they are ruling you. You are like a fool idiot, you are following loose. You are behaving like an idiot. You are not supposed to be. But in your behavior, in your action, you are more than a fool. That's the state of aviveki. So a man totally immersed in worldliness is considered as aviveki. There is no more harsh word than that. Are you proud to be aviveki? You must become viveki. Viveka vairagya, jnana bhakti. Oh Lord, give me jnana bhakti viveka vairagya. Like that Narendra prays in front of Mother Kali. You know, Swamiji had tremendous problem in the home. Father passed away suddenly. He was the eldest son to take care of the people, mother, brothers. How to do that? He has no job. Running for the job. Nobody is given the job. Tremendous mental strain. Nobody has passed through that kind of state in this world. If you read Swami Vivekananda's life, you will see. Nobody reads life. That's the problem. Read the life thoroughly, A to Z. And he runs to Sri Ramakrishna. Oh Ramakrishna, you know, you can talk to Mother Kali. Why can't you pray for me? Everybody says like that. Oh Swami, prays for me. Why can't you yourself go and pray? Is that not mother is not mother to you also? Go. Today is Tuesday. It is Mother's Day. Calcutta, Tuesday is considered very auspicious. Go today, Mother's Day. Go. And Shriram and Vivekananda had tremendous faith, Shraddha in Sri Ramakrishna. Ran towards Kali Mandir, Dakshineshwar. Do you know what happened there? When he stood before Mother Kali, Mother is manifesting in full glory. To realize mother, Sri Ram tried to do austerity for 12 years in Panchavati. And this Swami Vivekananda getting vision immediately, it's instant. How? By the grace of Sri Ram. How that grace could come? Because Swami is 100% pure. Mind is totally untainted by blemishes. Crystal clear mind. Sri Ram can grace. Mother himself begins to talk. My child, how come you have come? What do you want? And her voice was so tender. It was so uplifting. As soon as Swami Vivekananda saw the mother, he came there to ask to remove the difficult situation in the home. But what did he ask? Oh mother, should I ask you something? Please give me jnana, bhakti, vivek, vairagya. Then he came, Sri Ram was waiting. What did you ask for? Oh master, I asked to give jnana, bhakti, vivek, vairagya. What? You told me to remove all your difficult situations in the home, and you asked for jnana, bhakti, vivek, vairagya. You asked me to pray for her to remove difficult situations. Go second time. Second time, third, 3 times even. 3 times he asked the same thing. Jnana, bhakti, vivek, vairagya. Then Swami finally said, oh, this trick is played by Sri Ram himself. When I go and stand before Sri Mother, I can completely yes. And now Swami Vivekananda has accepted the mother. Mother's Leela. And Sri Ram tells, go, don't worry. Mother will take care of whatever that need to be done. So that's the way it is. That's the way. So, you have to pray yourself. No proxy. No proxy. Each one is eligible to pray for God. And God wants each one of you to pray. You can take the help of other people, how to pray. But you have to pray. That's the way it is. And God gives us so many signals, which should give us a kind of saving our life. Signal. One ship was going in the ocean. It got into trouble and the ship was almost sinking down in the ocean. There was only one survivor who somehow washed up on a small uninhabited island. He was the only person who survived. All others gone. And in that uninhabited island, he prayed feverishly for God to rescue him. And every day he scanned the horizon for help. But none seemed forthcoming. Exhausted, tired, he eventually managed to build a little cottage out of driftwood to protect him from the elements and to store his few possessions. And he was desperately waiting for some help to come. It's not so easy. There's nobody else. Uninhabited place. Then one day, after scavenging for food, he arrived home to find his little cottage in flames. The smoke rolling up to the sky. The worst had happened. Worst. What is the worst? Everything was lost. The man had built that cottage with so much difficulty, that uninhabited island, and that hut also caught fire. And there is nothing now. Zero. He was stunned, totally despaired. God, oh God, how can you do this to me? He cried. Early the next day, he was awakened by the sound of a ship that was approaching the island. Next day, it had come to rescue him. Only to rescue him that ship has come to him. And he was amazed, totally surprised. How did he know I was here? And the people who came in the ship to rescue him, they said, we saw the smoke signal, smoke coming out of the fire, cottage got fire. The smoke, they got a signal. It's easy to get discouraged when things are going bad. But we shouldn't lose heart. Because God is at work in our lives, even in the midst of pain and suffering. Remember, next time your little hut is burning to the ground, it just may be a smoke signal that summons the grace of God. So things happen in this life. Sometimes they act like signals so that you come closer to God. God is the only way to redeem us from all this unpleasantness in life. Once, a dog came to Sri Ramachandra bleeding from blows. Somebody has beaten that dog terribly. And Sri Ram called Lakshman. And he asked Lakshman to inquire why it had happened, why it had to receive so much severe blows. Please inquire. The dog expressed through his voice, I don't know how it expressed it, but it said, "Oh, I was beaten by a Brahmin with a stick." The dog was telling. The Brahmin was questioned. He said, the dog always was annoying him by coming across his path. Rama asked the dog, well, how do you want to punish the Brahmin? Because he was beating him so much. The dog said, "Oh Ram, make him a manager of a temple." Sri Rama replied with wonder, "What? That would be a reward, not a punishment." The dog said, "No, Swamiji, no. I was a manager of a temple in my previous birth. It is impossible not to mishandle or misuse or misappropriate some fraction of God's money. When he is that manager, when this fellow becomes manager, he too will get like me, this canine birth, and perhaps got beaten too in his subsequent birth." So, in a funny way it is told. In fact, not only the dog or the Brahmin, But every one of us are living off the property of God. For does it not whole thing belong to God? What do we do in return for all benefits we derive from the property of the Lord? We should not simply eat and sit quiet. How to pay back the debt towards God? God has given so much to us. From our side, what should we do? It is said we have to render service to the poor and the helpless in a manner suitable to us. Serving the poor, most important. Don't hesitate to serve. Serve the needy people. That's why Swamiji says, the motto of the Ramakrishna mission, Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Dhitaya Cha. In order to realize God, serve the humanity. Serve. That word serve has tremendous meaning. Serve means seva. Seva. In that attitude, you must be humble, not egoistic, not boastful, not bossing over. No. Feel you are the servant of the servants of God. With that attitude, your service is accepted by God. And service becomes worship of God. This is Swami says, if you serve the humanity, you realize God. To realize God, serve the humanity. Atmana Mokshatam Jagadhitaya. That's why you see all over India, hospitals, education centers, millions, and relief works. Wherever the calamity comes, Ramakrishna runs first to render help to them. Just to help them. That's how the mission is working. And here, what kind of relief we are doing here, service to humanity? Spiritual education. Here they don't need our relief in the way India requires. In America, they have got all facilities for relief work. But nobody is giving value education, spiritual ideas to the people in the right manner. And it's our responsibility. Sri Swami Vivekananda came to America to spread the message of Vivekananda, spread the message of Sri Ramakrishna. To harmonize all religions, to harmonize all paths, to integrate all people belonging to all communities. As rivers coming from different directions, they all join together in the ocean. So also, all the people practicing different types of religion, they are all worshipping me alone. Lord Krishna himself tells that. Yo, mamam, whoever in whatever form he worships, is worshipping me alone. Shri Krishna says in the Gita. Everything has been disclosed. There is no secret. So, that idea must be spread out properly. And we are all one family. That's why when Swami Vivekananda addressed Parliament, dear sisters and brothers, how 7,000 people stood up and had applause for 2 minutes. Because for the first time they are hearing, they are not strangers, they are our own. Swami really felt them, felt that each one is his brother, each one is his sister. And all the ladies in the platform, in the auditorium, they rushed towards Swamiji to see that great personality, to offer their homage to him. And he really felt that each one is brother and sister. So that idea, if you can practice in your life, how most blessed your life would be. So the idea is, you must give this idea to people here. So, serving best in America is to spread the message of Vedanta, the glory of the Atman, the glory of the individual self. Each one is as important as the other, and each one is related to one another. We are all rays of the sun. Sun is Paramatma. We are all different rays, always connected with Paramatma. Rays cannot exist without sun. So we cannot exist without God. We are inseparably connected to God. You don't know, so we are suffering. If you know it, you are released from suffering. To know that, you need spiritual practice. You need spiritual struggle. So, it is like that. I hope these words of spiritual wisdom will help you to focus on yourself. Am I doing spiritual practice properly? You have to question yourself. And you have to judge yourself, not judging others. Judge yourself. Am I doing it? That's how we should go. Now, according to the proceeding of the program, we invite all of you to ask any questions you want to regarding the topic, how important it is to struggle in human life, not wasting human life, not wasting the time. No waste of time, no waste of human life. Not waiting for till the hair grows grey. If you are waiting for the hair to grow grey, you are discarded. You are disqualified. Don't utter that word even once. You are degrading yourself. Instead of upgrading, you are downgrading. No. No hair growing grey and after coloring it with black. Wait. No such things. Now is your session.
Please, those who want to ask questions, raise your hand. There's a microphone. You ask.
Always will be there. But answers are very simple. Difficult part is practice. There's a difficult part. But we have to do it. Without digging the earth, how do you sow the seed? Digging part is difficult, but you have to dig it. It's like that. You know the thing, but you apply it in your life. Application is important. Don't simply stop at Shravan. Whole life you keep on hearing only. When you practice, without practice, you are the zero stage. You are not reaching it down. You know it, but you have to do it.
Maharaj, you made an important, interesting point that in this country, service means giving spiritual education. That's good for the monks and so on, but for us, family life people, worldly people, how do we do that? How do we provide service?
Now, when I say in America, spiritual education is to be given. In America, people living this, you are also included in that. I meant all of you who are living in America, not simply white people. All people. What I am telling is, in this world full of temptations, bhoga, the moment you go outside, you're simply drawn like a forceful current towards it. You can't resist. Before you think of resistance, you already fallen. So the gravitation is so great, unless you are very strong and sincere, you will yield to the temptations. So these spiritual ideas will help you to resist the temptations. Why the kids are behaving so rudely? Very hopeless. 100% wrong. Because parents are not giving any attention to them. Secondly, when the kids go to school, extremely hopeless atmosphere. So how can the children grow without any proper education? People who have to give that education are not giving. So as these kids grow up, they become wild, ferocious, full of hatred, jealousy, crime. Also. What a tragedy it is. Highly civilized country in America. What horrible crimes are going on. It is unbelievable. People killing other people for no reason. Life is treated like a trash. Life is treated like a trash. They are ruining. The point is, they are not only ruining themselves, they are ruining others also. That's the worst thing that's happening. So, whoever has understood a little bit of spiritual ideas, try to practice it. That's the best form of service that you can do. Suppose you are a family person, you know what to be done and what not to be done. And do it properly. Be a model to your children. And the children will follow. If the parents themselves go in a different way, how can you expect the children to go nicely? You can't expect like that. So there should be a kind of coordination, behavior. If parents do well, children definitely do well. Definitely. See, some of the parents come there in a temple in Chicago and they bring the kids also. Amazing part is, as soon as the kid comes, it makes sashtang pranam. Not half. Sashtang, complete, full length. They lay on the ground, touch the feet, and they keep lying there until they have to lift them. Who taught them all those things? Because parents they do, and they also follow. If the parents hesitate to bend their head, their children also will not bend their head. That means it will crush your ego. Ahankar. Ahankaram, balam, tarpam, Shikshanas in Gita. These are the demonic qualities. Devi Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, 17th chapter, clearly defined about it. Develop good qualities, cultivate. Then only you can improve. Not only yourself, your children also will become very good. And make them come in contact with holy association. So many people come to ashram. I told, bring your kids. Let them be in touch with the ashram. They are afraid. Oh, my child comes to ashram regularly, he will become monk. Let him become monk. What is that? Why do you want that him also to be run like you also? Why do you want that? That's a peculiar way of thinking people. Peculiar way. But definitely if the children come regularly and keep contact with ashrama, they become very, very good, I should say. Gold, they become like gold. I myself have seen in Bangalore, In Bangalore, we have it's very famous ashram. We have a children's section. Every day about 80 boys come. As soon as the school is over, all the children come to the ashram. And they give various activities. They give teaching bhajans, teaching chanting, etc. And they give some work also. And they give some games, volleyball, basketball. And they give milk also to every child. So that they're contented. They're so happy to rush to the ashram. Rush. And they keep on doing up to college level. Not simply coming a few times and stop. No. If you stop in the middle, no effect. If you've done through continuously, till the mind gets real maturity, then you will see wonders. And so many have become monks there. It's true. It's not a joke to become a monk. Not at all. Not that they become perfect, but by practicing they become perfect. It's got Vividisha Sannyasa. Vividisha Sannyasa. Vividisha Sannyasa means the process of attaining mastership over renunciation. Celibacy. You're practicing it, struggling. It's worth struggling. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Difficult, but not impossible. And how could that happen if you had not that bisexual love? Same way there's for women also, girls also there. Lot of girls have joined the Sangha initially. Without that, how could you expect? It's very important. Without cultivating the plants in the nursery, how can you grow the plant outside? The infant stage should be taken care of nicely. After you put there, they know, they will grow well. That portion is very important. Here, no such education. 24 hours they are sitting in front of the TV and losing all their character, even the little character also goes away. And dirty things they see TV now the technology is so developed, they show only dirty things. So even the most moral person becomes highly immoral by seeing the dirty things. And you are tempted to see. How can you expect God should come and help you? How can God help you if you are not trying to help yourself? God helps those who help themselves. That's the secret.
I have a couple of questions on it. You talked about control of mind and
So loudly please, I can't hear.
yeah, could you hear me now?
Yes.
Raise your voice.
You talked about the control of mind, whether mind controls you or you control the mind. So a couple of questions is that when you have physical suffering, is that pretty easy to control your mind? And when you are having influencing a lot of money, is that mind controls you? Another thing is,
No, put one question at a time.
okay, so control of mind and whether mind controls you or you control your mind. My first question is, when you have physical suffering, is that pretty easy to control your mind rather than mind controls you?
Suffering comes to you because of your
I talk about physical suffering. You are having some kind of disease or you are not feeling well, you are ill. I talked about the physical suffering.
physical suffering also has got some root, cause of that. Without cause, the suffering doesn't come.
Okay, physical suffering can happen to you.
Yes.
So any reason, Thakur was having a cancer in his throat.
So what?
So, but I'm asking you that.
So what is referring to cancer?
No. My
You are
question
referring to
is.
Sri Ramakrishna. What is the reference meant for? You are referring to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer. What is it meant for? What's your point in referring to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer? What's your point?
My point is, if you have physical suffering, is that easy to control your mind? That is the only question.
Suffering comes to give you an awakening. It comes you to educate you, to make you go towards God, and to find out the cause and remove the whatever that is responsible for suffering. Sri Ramakrishna suffered cancer. He himself explained why he got that cancer. Sri Ramakrishna's body was not a karmic body like ours. Ours, we are all governed by our karmas. But Sri Ramakrishna was not governed by his karma. This God Supreme came to our level to help us, to lift us up. Still, why did he suffer? The reason is, he himself said, in order to obey the cosmic law, he took up all the impurities of Girishchandra Ghosh, who had committed Himalayan blunders, as he himself said. And because of that, he got that cancer. Sri Ramakrishna himself tells that. And there's a very good book has come, Chaitananji from St. Louis. Excellent book. Girishchandra Ghosh, big volume has come. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Please read that book. So that's because through suffering, Girishchandra Ghosh suffered a lot. Mental, so wretched. He felt disgusted about that. He went to Shiva temple, Tarkeshwar Shiva, famous Shiva temple. And he made a vrat. Oh Lord, I have done so much of things. I am disgusted. Can you not help me? So because he reached that culmination, his prayer was really sincere. He really felt. Next day, he was brought into Sri Ramakrishna. So Sri Ramakrishna's grace he could get because of his prayer to Lord Shiva. And that started the way of redeeming Girishchandra Ghosh from all his impurities. And then the story goes very well how Girishchandra Ghosh became one of the most on the top. They show their faces to you. They jump upon you. They distract you. They make you run. Go this way, go there. They distract you. You can't sit even a minute to think of God. All these restlessness happened because you allowed your mind to go reckless. So after allowing your mind to reckless, how do you control immediately? Just at 1 second, you can't do that. It requires a lot of struggle, a lot of effort. It has to be done.
Another question is, you can have your control over your mind. Is it necessary that you have to be religious?
Yeah?
That you have to be religious, then only you can have control over your mind. Is there no person in this world who
What's
is
the
not?
meaning? What's the meaning of religious? Just explain to me. What's the meaning of religious?
You tell me.
You have to tell. Because you are the word who uses the word religious. You are the man who uses the word religious.
Yeah, religious.
What do you mean by religious?
Concentration of mind
Concentration of mind is not religious.
for some divine, for a divine or these are questions I have in my mind. If I can give you the answer, then I will not ask you the question.
The point is, the very word you are using without meaning. You are asking the religious, what do you mean by religious according to your view?
Religious means like
Who is non-religious, who is religious? Say,
religious. I as a commoner, the religious I will define that you are having belief of something.
huh?
Belief, you are having belief on God, whether that God may be it may be Ramakrishna, it may be Jesus, it may be whatever, what it is. So,
That means you are referring to.
I am referring to faith on something which is correlated with the religion.
See, controlling of mind. Why should you control the mind?
To go in a good path.
Yeah. To go towards the divine.
That's right.
Divine.
When you said the divine.
Divine is that the glory of the God we call divine.
So you are telling that God. So
God means the divine. The glory of the divine, whether it is the divinity which Swamiji referred, each soul is potentially divine. There is consciousness in you, which is distinct from body, mind, intellect, everything. I am not this body. When I say my body is sick, that means you are distinguishing itself, you are separating yourself. My body means body belongs to you. That means you are separate from body. Then my intellect means you are separated from intellect. My mind is very bad today. I could not pray. You would say that. That means you are separate from mind. So if you go like that backwards, who is that mind? Always you are using my, me. Who is that me? Who is that I? That's the exploration you have to do. That's the practice we have to do. To go to find out that I. Who is that I? That I is none other than the Supreme I. It's a spark of the fire. The consciousness. What is soul? Consciousness associated with the body, mind, intellect. So, in the embodied state, you are not able to find out your true reality. Once you arrive at that reality, then everything else becomes clear to you. So, in a way, according to scriptures, everything is very Brahman himself. That's how it is explained. So, it is like that. And because you have to go beyond the mind, through the mind. You have to go through the mind, beyond the mind. That's the way it is. So, mind is the connecting link between the embodied being and the Paramatma. So, you have to go through the mind. If you have to go through the mind towards the divine, towards knowing who you are, you have to have the purified channel. Then only mind can transcend. Otherwise you can't transcend. You can't think of that higher level of thinking. So it is like that only.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask? Could you please tell me the difference when I say I'm religious and I'm spiritual? This differentiation between these two words.
Religious and spiritual, there's nothing like they are different. If you are religious, you must be spiritual. What do you mean by religious? That's the wanted now. It depends upon what is your definition about religion. Then I can clarify to you. To me, religion and spirituality, there is no difference. To me. But to you, you are distinguishing. So I want to know what is your idea about religion and what is your idea about spirituality. Then only I can explain to you. You have to explain your stand clearly.
No, because somebody asked me and I thought it is the same, and that person said, no, this is different. This is why I'm asking you.
Bring that person here. See, I should know. If the question is not clarified properly, how can I give the answer properly?
Because the way he was trying to say, I am Hindu, okay? But some other person, he may be Christian.
That's the name of the religion. That is the name of the religion which you are practicing it. Hindu means what? Hindu dharma means it gives you clear instruction how you have to conduct your life. Pravritti marga, nivritti marga. How you have to regulate your life, how you have to culture your mind, how you have to cultivate your character, stabilize your character. All these processes are given in a particular pattern. So Hindu way of pattern is one thing, Christian way of pattern is another thing. Christian way of pattern is Christ is the only God, everybody should accept him, otherwise they are go to hell, or they are condemned. But Hindu says no one is condemned, everyone is part of God, anybody can practice any God, and all are worshipping same God. That's the Hindu concept of God.
Thank you.
That's all. So Islam, he considers everybody is brother, but in action they are killing brothers everywhere. See, there is no coordination between concept and practice. Your concept and practice go at loggerheads. You are having one concept, you are practicing in a different way. You are not acting as you should act. You know it, but you are not acting properly. That's how it is. So religion means dharma, Hindu dharma, Christ dharma. So dharma means codes of conduct. It gives what to do, what not to do, etc. That's the concept. If you follow that concept, that's spirituality. Now it's clear to you?
Maharaj, there's only one more question.
I have a couple of questions. Discourse and Pravachan. One time you said that you think about God. When you don't know God, how can you think about God?
When you
don't know God, what is God? How can you think about God?
see,
That is my first question.
yeah. The point is, God is the one which is the embodiment of peace and bliss. The divine nature, the divinity is called God. See, it depends upon in what manner you accept God. Some people accept the divinity as God with form. Sri Ramchandra, Sri Krishna, Shiva, Kali, Durga, like that. So they have the concept of God in the form, the divine form. Divine form is the form which has got all the glories. Some people think formless aspect of God. The point is, by reaching that state, you will have immense peace and bliss. It's called Satchidananda Sagara. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kapsa Chanura Madram Deviki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. The embodiment of bliss are Krishna. So if you reach that state of embodiment bliss, by reaching which you get total fulfillment, that's all the divinity. That's what is referred to as God. Realizing your true nature, that is God. Who am I? I am the Jyoti, because of which I am activating, I am moving, I am doing all sorts of things. When that Jyoti goes away, the body drops and you will burn the body. Is it not? You will be taken to crematorium. All this is activating because of the consciousness inside. What is that consciousness? How does it look? Some people say it is light, Jyoti. How does it? You have to experience yourself. You have to experience, each one has to experience oneself. I may explain to you, but the experience is different. Unless you experience, you can't believe it. So to experience it, you have to practice it. To practice it, you must follow the guidance. To get the guidance, you must approach Guru. Having approached Guru, you must have faith in the Guru, not change the Guru every time, now and then. Today one Guru, next day another Guru, third day, or another person comes and makes a miracle, go to that fellow. That way, you won't go anywhere.
There are two questions coming out of the same thing, and I heard in your discourse is You said you have to have a Shraddha to start your spiritual life.
Mhm.
But how can you have a Shraddha without a doubt? If you don't have a doubt, your Shraddha would be very empty. Your Shraddha would be very kind of filial. If you just somebody tells you that have Shraddha, how can you have Shraddha without doubts initially? So that is my second question.
I didn't say you should not have doubts. I didn't say that. I didn't say. But doubt has got a limit. Not limitless doubts. Samshaya Atma Vinashyati. The man who has endless doubts, he is ruined. At one stage, you have to stop doubting. Reasonable doubts, wonderful. With the way the doubts, in order to realize, in order to understand, in order to know things, you can ask questions. Asking questions itself is a kind of doubt. It's all right, it's allowed. But if you extend the limit, it is not constructive, it is destructive. To give an example, fire. Fire is very useful. You can cook, you heat the food, and you can heat the room, body temperature, it's the cold season, you feel very comfortable. But if the heat is enormously increased, instead of producing comfort, it comes discomfort to you. It destroys the home if it is increased enormously. That means it was going in a limited way. In a controlled way, it is constructive. In an unlimited way, it is destructive. Same way, doubts, when they are in a limited way, they are useful. Arjuna also asked a lot of doubts. Not lot. Some doubts he had, but Krishna clarified. He was satisfied. Oh Krishna, I follow every word of yours. All my doubts are vanished. When he said that, his Shraddha increased. Shraddha became so perfect. No more question. Finished. That's it.
And the last question I have is, in your discourse I heard, it's very, you can answer it very quickly because everybody is kind of waiting. The question is, you said you should be fools enough to believe in miracles.
It should not be.
You should be fool enough, or you should all be fools enough to believe in miracles. So what kind of miracles you are talking about here?
See, miracles means some people come and say some kind of mystical saying and expressing themselves in a different way. And miracles means showing some occult powers. Some occult powers. And you feel, oh, and you are drawn towards it. And occult powers is an obstacle in spiritual life. Lord Krishna himself tells that also. Any siddhi means it is an obstacle. You have to cross over that. Otherwise you keep on using the occult powers every now and then. Mind reading. Mind reading is an occult power. Suppose you come towards me. While reading you, I can tell you what you are. And you are totally awakened. What? Swamiji knows everything about me. That's see, once Swamiji was giving lecture in Detroit on Raj Yoga. All the people were stunned to hear this talk. And Swamiji was talking there about mind and its control and its various powers, etc., etc. And how it is very graphically explained. And one of the audience, he probably wanted to tease Swamiji or whatever it is. He stood up and began to obstruct him. What? You are talking so much about the powers of the mind, etc. Can you tell me what's in my mind? He's talking forcefully. And Swamiji ignored, as if it is nothing. He began to continue his talks on Raj Yoga. Again he stood up. He raised his voice to a little higher level, second level. Can you tell me what is in my mind? Still Swamiji ignored. Third time he stood on his toes to show his body, to let audience people, all the eyes focused on him. Again he asked shouting. Then Swami said that now you should teach him. He did not say anything to him, he stared at him. Just he looked at him. He looked at him so severely, he got shivering. It's not a story. It has happened. Shivering. Oh, please, don't tell me. I know you're reading my mind. I know you will tell me, you will disclose whatever is in my mind. Please don't tell me, please don't tell me. He's folding his hands and begging Swami not to disclose his mind. Then Swami continued to talk as if nothing happened. That is Swami's control over the mind. So, though Swami was a great yogi, he did not exhibit that yoga to like shopkeeping, etc., to attract people, to catch money, not like that. It's a kind of distraction actually. But it's a science. If you practice concentration of mind, automatically the powers exhibit themselves in the mind. It's a law. What is there to wonder about it? Because you are not able to concentrate, you are not getting the powers. That's all. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have power. Everybody has got that power. But you are not tapping them, so you are not getting them.
But the question was, you were asking about the miracles. What kind of miracle you are talking
I am
about?
telling you, mind reading, it's a miracle.
So mind reading should not be there, or
Not that you should not be carried away by such things and go towards that aspect and keep on, what I should say, lingering about that person, etc. And that person might have not gone to the extent of realizing the divine. In halfway he may be. I don't want to name the people. There are so many people coming to America and advertising themselves as big yogis, etc., etc. To make people come and see. What I mean to say, there are lots of people of different way of make-up in their mind. We don't know. Unless the person is really divine, you should not be just taken by surprise by such certain things like that. After you will be disheartened. Oh, godless man, should he behave like this? You will be horrified. Such things should not happen. So that's why they want to keep away all those things. Approach religion in the purest way, purest form. Purest way means think of divine, establish character, purify your mind, have faith in yourself, be self-confident, and proceed. Atma-Vishwas, Dhrida Shraddha, Jnana, Bhakti, Vivek, Vairagya. 4. On 4 pillars, you will raise up your spiritual abode. Then it will be wonderful. It is difficult, but not impossible. That's the statement. Difficult, but not impossible. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram. Om Sahanavadu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavarai Tejasvinavadita Sumavitvikavarai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. May the Lord protect us, may He nourish us, may we not be fruitful and enlightened, may we not hate each other. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. We are continuing the topic spiritual wisdom. Today morning we had some spiritual ideas. And I'm continuing the topic now. It is always asked, what is Brahman? Just as people asking, what is God? And Srila has explained that to know God, you have to experience it through meditation. And once you got that experience, you become enlightened. That means that's the point where you don't have any doubts in your mind. Those doubts are totally destroyed. And there is nothing to be known. And knowing which, there is nothing to be known. That is the state. And Sri Ram was overwhelmed by this experience of Brahman. And after the experience, he could really feel that really everyone, everything is very Brahman. So, Sri Ramakrishna's experience authenticated the famous Upanishad statement, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is verily indeed Brahman. And when he tried to explain to the devotees, once he asked the devotees to come close to him, they all came close to him, and he told, now, look, today I will reveal to you the most absolute experience, what it is, etc. That is, in a way, he wanted to describe to them what is Brahman. They were all anxiously looking at him. Sri Ramakrishna began to explain the different states and experiences one could have by concentrating the mind on the different centers located in the backbone. Muladhara, Manipura, Anahata, Ajna, like that. So all the chakras, they also say chakras or lotuses. In each center, there's a unique experience. Every experience is very blissful and very encouraging, inspiring. And they were all hearing overwhelmingly. Then when Sri Ramakrishna tried to explain the experience that he had at the Sahasrara center, 1,000-petaled lotus at the brain center. So all the centers are situated in the backbone, as I told you. If you draw a perpendicular line from the backbone, from the point of center of meditation, concentration, the perpendicular where it joins, there is the actual center. For example, a heart center, Anahata. If you draw a perpendicular line from the heart to the backbone, that is the center, from the backbone. But one experiences heart center means one experiences that the center located at the backbone. As I said, all the centers are located in the backbone. That's why we ask people to sit meditation straight, not bend. When you sit bend, you are breaking the channel. The flow of energy is obstructed when it is bent. Keep straight. Rise up like that. That's why they explain. When Sri Ramakrishna began to explain his experience of 1,000-petaled lotus at the brain center, he could not explain. He went into samadhi. He tried 2-3 times to explain to them, he could not. Then he exclaimed, well, it is difficult to experience, it cannot be explained. It is difficult to describe, it cannot be described. How to know it? Only through experience, not through description. You can describe, but it's incomplete. Whatever expressions come out is incomplete. Why? Because at that point of realization, there is no subject-object. They merge into one. Only one exists. Advitiyam. Only one exists. That's all. So that is the highest state of realization. That's how it is described about what is Brahman. Now there is a famous episode in the Upanishad. It comes in Bhakti Upanishad. One day, Bhrigu, a great rishi, he was the son of Varuna, approached his father. The two Bhrigu approached his father Varuna and asked him, Father, will you enlighten me about Brahman? It's a really good question. Then Varuna replied, look, son, none can enlighten anyone on Brahman. One has to experience through meditation. In order to initiate you into that process, I will ask you to go and meditate and carry on self-inquiry. Go, meditate, I bless you. So, he had the blessing of the father Varuna, and he had pure heart, so he could meditate. Meditation, he used to contemplate on several questions related to the spiritual world. One day he thought, what is the most essential thing that is necessary for the existence of all living beings in general, and man in particular? He thought for a while on this vital question. He thought within himself, self-inquiry. It must be food, annam brahma. So he decided, man lives, he grows and works only because of food. The most essential thing for life is food. Ahara. So he concluded, food is Brahman. His way of arriving at conclusion. So he ran to his father and said, Oh father, I know what is Brahman. Food is Brahman. As if he is disclosing the most fantastic truth. But Varuna replied with a smile, My child, food is not Brahman. No. Go, meditate again. So the son had to go back to the forest again and he had to continue tapas for some time more. Then he thought, food may be essential, but unless there is energy, how can the food be digested? What is that energy? So he concluded it must be prana, vital air. So he corrected himself. is Brahman. Again he rushed to his father. Oh father, now I have realized. Now I have come to know what is Brahman. It is Prana. Prana is Brahman. Again the father smiled and said, my son, go. Wait it again. Still you have to explore. Prana is not Brahman. I was startled. What? So my inquiry is not complete. My truth, my realization of truth is not absolute. So he went and continued his meditation. Then he began to analyze himself in the mind. Well, food is essential. Prana is essential. Both are essential. But what is more essential than these two? He began to explore. Unless one has desire to live and to eat, of whatever is food and prana. So, the seat of desire is mind. So, manas is Brahman.